So I'm here with Dr. Schnuth, and she's going to give us a tour of the clinic here. So first, Dr. Schnuth, why don't you just tell us where we are, kind of the evolution of how this came to be, the clinic here.
Great, Josh. This is the clinic in a little town called Alajuelita, and it has 3 barrio areas in it that we try to serve. And those areas are settlements for Nicaraguans who have immigrated to Costa Rica trying to find more work, more jobs. And so they have a lot of needs in that much of the housing doesn't have electricity, water, and we'll be able to see those in the next few days. You'll be able to go up in those areas. But we had a clinic that was actually located right down in that barrio area, but it was broken into last year before the students came down. And as a result then, we had to find another location in order to secure a place where we thought the students and the physicians would be safe. And this is it. It looks delightful now. It's painted. You can see the choice of colors to be bright and welcoming. And you'll see paintings back against the wall for the kids to make them feel safe. But it was awful when we came last year. We bleached everything down, washed all the walls and the inside and out. There was an old car that was all torn up, but the students did a phenomenal job, and they scrubbed and painted and made it really look inviting for people to come. In addition, they put the razor wire up on the top to help with security, although we feel pretty safe in that the man who actually owns the building runs the garage next door, and that's where he and his family live, so they keep an eye on it.
Okay, so get a checkup and your car service.
That's right, right. Get all your engines running.
Cool. Well, let's go in and take a tour here.
Hey, we're filming.
I think it's actually,
yeah, we're filming.
Hello.
So
Hola.
this is our community room, and the community room serves as the room for the students to eat, to work on projects, and then when we're not doing those kinds of things in the clinic, this is where the patients wait. So they're triaged here, they get their vital signs taken, medical records are keeping here, or are kept here. Keeping?
Keeping is a word.
Can you introduce us? Can you introduce us to some of the staff here?
Sure. This is Dr. Reinhardt Statham. He is the physician for the clinic and does just an excellent job taking care of the kids. The kids love him, and he's wonderful with the students too. He's bright. He's gone through medical school in Costa Rica, and he also is just finishing up palliative care. Like residency programs. So he's extremely skilled and has helped a lot in helping us understand how to manage situations related to the delivery of palliative care. So we're glad we have the opportunity to work with him.
Thank you, thank you. Hola. Hola. Hope you have a really nice experience. It's just your first day, but you're going to enjoy it definitely. You're going to see a lot of different communities.
Thanks.
All right. And here we have Tatiana and Diane. Tatiana is our psychologist and works very closely with the families, and Tatiana is making her own family right now. You can see it in progress.
Oh yes.
And that's little Isabella, who will be born in the beginning of May, and we're so excited for her to arrive. And this is Diane. Diane does all the management of the clinic, and he's very strong with health education and setting up programming. He keeps track of everything. He's kind of just the boss of all of us.
Oh yes. Start that up. Start that up.
And both of them are tremendous artists. So,
and crazy.
And crazy. So, and this is our kitchen then in the clinic. So we have air that comes in, and we have a refrigerator and water, although right now it's a hard time for water. There hasn't been a lot of rain, and so the water gets shut down periodically when we're in here. So
And water gives you diarrhea.
And the water can give you diarrhea, yes, and then when the bathrooms don't work, it's a challenge.
A total challenge.
Okay, over here.
And over here, Dr. Statham wants to get on camera again. This is the exam room for the clinic. And this was, again, painted by the students, and then another group came in and did the final painting in that.
Que bonita.
But and it is, it's just beautiful, and it was such an ugly room before, it was just terrible. But they have created a window here that connects to the pharmacy, so after Dr. Statham is done seeing the patients, he will pass then his plan off to the team that works behind the wall, and they'll prepare the medications, go out, and then they will do health education with the patients as they deliver the medications and any other plans that are necessary.
Cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
And down the hallway, we come to the psychologist's room. And since we see many, many children here, this room is set up to help them feel safe and comfortable. Notice the stars and little figures that go around with the border. And Tatiana wanted this to resemble an aquarium or the ocean. And so you can see that there are fish painted on the wall. And
Yeah, I see an octopus over there.
Yeah, absolutely, a little turtle, and there's a sheep that got waylaid. But so she meets a lot, and she has long-term relationships with the children and family as she works with them. We deal with a lot of issues of domestic violence and some failure to thrive issues, and just oftentimes when the families have been uprooted from their Nicaraguan situations and then put in a setting where there are a lot of obstacles and barriers for them to survive, there certainly are a lot of social and psychological needs that she has to deal with.
Now you mentioned like something about Nicaraguans, and we're in Costa Rica, so we're a FIMRC clinic. The Costa Ricans have their public health system. So where does FIMRC fit in, and what kind of population are they treating then?
We consider FIMRC to be a private clinic. It's sponsored by an NGO. And what it does is it will work with people who have insurance, which are Costa Ricans who are tied in working.
Okay.
But if you don't work, you have to buy into the insurance a different way because you don't have your employer contributing to it. So many times there can be Costa Ricans, even though there's a national health plan, who aren't covered under the national health plan. But the National Health Plan is mandated to cover children up to a certain age. But sometimes the Nicaraguan population doesn't feel that maybe they're as welcomed in the national health system clinics, and so they would prefer to come here to seek care.
And if they're undocumented?
Then there's even more of a reason that they might be reticent to go to the national healthcare system, although they are willing definitely to see the children, and if a woman is pregnant, they're willing to see them, but sometimes they feel that they're not getting the same kind of treatment that the Costa Ricans are, so they oftentimes prefer to come here.
Okay, great.
All right.
All right, we got one more stop.
One more place. And this is our utility room and our pharmacy. So you see that we have many, many supplies, and actually before you students came we were a little low on supplies, but we were able, this is for gloves and some of the office type supplies, the cards and that we use, and we were pretty empty here when we came, but we were able to stock up thanks to you students who we were able to go to the pharmacy and get some of the common drugs that we use frequently with the children and a little bit with adult care.
Yeah. Thanks to our donors too?
Yes, absolutely. Yay to the donors, because we couldn't have done any of this without the donations that everybody committed to the students for this trip. Now over here is the area where the students who are scheduled to be in pharmacy, and there's usually 1 or 2 will work. And as you look back here, that was the exam room we were in with Dr. Statham. And so he will hand then his orders through here, and they'll be processed. We'll write up individual medication cards of instructions to patients, as well as going out and talking them through the instructions. And of course then we encourage the students to have the patients repeat the instructions back to make sure that they understand. We usually will put individual meds in little baggies, and then we'll put everything all together in a large baggie so that it can be contained by the parent in order to get it home.
Now, you know, we're a part of the LMUV program at Michigan State, so what are some of the things that us students are, you know, that you foresee now and in the future getting out of this program as our development as healthcare professionals?
I think there are 3 main things that we'd like to see that students get out of the program. That they learn to embrace another culture and see the things that are different between cultures, but also how many things are similar. Mm-hmm. And to hopefully take that knowledge and bring it back to the United States in working with different cultures, as well as being able to apply it if they continue to do overseas work. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that we would like the students to get out of the experience. The other thing is that they're able to look at health systems in a comparative way, so that they understand the differences between how we manage healthcare in the United States, that they see a healthcare system, a national healthcare system that is actually extremely functional here in Costa Rica overall. And they can look then when they go to Nicaragua also and compare that type of delivery system, so that hopefully when they're in the positions to be able to make the concrete decisions of what's important, they'll have a much broader depth than maybe their predecessors who've been making decisions about how healthcare should be delivered and what's important, and being able to focus a lot on prevention so that we don't have to be as curative in our management. And then, of course, there are many things with different drugs that are used, as well as similar drugs that we want students to have experience with. But the other thing is we want them to have a good time. It's a beautiful country, and they're able to work together as a team, and being able to function as a leader of a team and as a team member are critical aspects that we hope that they'll develop in this process.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thanks for the tour. Is there anything else you want to say to everybody out there?
Pura vida!
All right, Pura vida from Dr. Schnuth.